Oh, man, I'm gonna have to mow again soon. Good grief. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We're gonna have another filler video today, and I'm sorry. I intended to not have a filler video, but, things have just been going kind of slow. This is the most boring spring ever around here. But would you look at that? We could put the grill in the shop now. And let me tell you something, it is nice to have the damn grill in the shop to cook stuff instead of having to sit out in the freaking wind. So, we've been making progress on lots of things. You know, that's the vent duct work out of the U90. We've got all the gauges out of the U90. They're pretty disgusting. They all need to be cleaned. We've got the dashboard out of it as well. The seats, the door panels. Here's the dashboard. We've got all the panels. We've got an alternator for it right there. We've got wiper blades. We've got alternator belts. You know, we've been doing stuff, okay? We haven't just been sitting around, you know, thumb up our rear end and slack jawed. We've been doing some things, but nothing good enough for a video. So unfortunately, it's a filler video update type of deal here. I'll try and keep it short. I've got another idea for a really stupid video I could do that's just something I can put out. So we're going to start with this freaking GE Mulcher. It actually works really well. Surprisingly, you might say, "Oh, that sounds super Chinesium," and it is. It's very Chinese. The push bar they put on it was kind of a joke, but anyway, it does work surprisingly well. So the problem is with it, and I took the pulleys off. They're damn it, what would you call them? They're like a cogged pulley. They're made for timing belt, okay? And the timing belt that's on this is just like a slip fit. And it just sits there and maintains its own tension. It's made to just kind of stretch on there and stay. And that's a good system because timing belts like that are better at transmitting torque in this application. And you want the belt to be your weak point. So if you hit something really solid, you shear the teeth off the belt. Well, Dad did that a couple weeks ago, actually now. And we were like, oh, okay, I guess we'll need to go get another belt. So we figured it was super Chinesium. And it's not, actually. Hop, skip, and a jump later, ordered a couple of things, you know, tried some stuff out. And what I believe is a correct belt is a 425 H100. It's a 42.5-inch belt. It's an H series trapezoidal timing belt, and it's an inch wide. And I believe that is the right belt because a 420 H100, which is a 42-inch belt with the same dimensions otherwise, it's 84 tooth. It's just a little bit short. You can't quite pry it on. You'd tear the hell out of the belt, and I don't think it would work anyway. It'd probably just tear itself up. It would be too tight. But the 425 is an 85-tooth belt, and I think that would be just right for the way they got these pulleys set up. So the problem is nobody's got those. Grainger, usually when I order belts and stuff, I try to go to like Grainger or McMaster Carr because they've always got that stuff in stock in bulk. And I know that their freight is reasonable and they'll get stuff here really fast. I know that they will. And their prices aren't unreasonable. It's cheaper than going into like the CarQuest or something. So the problem is Grainger had the 420 belt, the 42-inch one, and we ordered it. That's how we found out it was too short. So then I go to look for the 42.5-inch 85-tooth timing belt. And Grainger doesn't have it, McMaster doesn't have it, so I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll have to go to one of these other websites I've never ordered from. So I tried to order it from Texas Belting and Supply, V-Belt guys, and I also had the local truck supply check with Austin Hose because they listed it, and I thought, well, hell, if you can get it through Austin Hose for me, that would be a lot faster than me trying to order it. But all those places basically said, we're out of stock. The lead time on this is August. I mean, it's several weeks out. Nobody has this 425 H100 belt in stock. I even looked at places like Amazon, and I hate Amazon, so you know if I'm going there to look, I'm getting desperate. And all the places that said it was in stock or implied it was in stock, you order it, and they send you an email, and they're like, yeah, sorry, actually, we don't have this, and nobody else has it either. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at with the Mulcher. So what we're going to do here, and there will be a separate video on this. This video is not just going to be about the Mulcher, I promise. But I'm going to do a separate video. What we're going to do is order a longer belt. We're going to order a 45-inch. And we're going to make it like an 85. It's going to be a 90-tooth. It'll be a 90-tooth belt. We're going to put the pulleys back on. And we're going to try and make a tensioner so we can use a longer belt so that we can use the mulcher, because we need the freaking mulcher. All right, now if it didn't work worth a crap from the get-go, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But because this thing actually works to grind down smaller cedar trees and plum thickets, which we have a lot of around here, we need the mulcher. So we got to get that figured out. And the wind has been so bad. And it's also time to do other stuff as well. And then now we just got 2 inches of rain, which is why it's wet everywhere. So yeah, this has been kind of a thing. And I kept waiting. I was like, oh, when that belt gets here, I'll make a video. And then I thought, okay, well, that belt didn't work. So I'll wait on the video, because I was going to put out one like, hey, if you got a GE mulcher, here's the belt that fits it. So yeah, that's fun. The grapple here, I still need to go get hoses made for that. That's more of a minor thing. We don't need to worry about that. The other day, Dad went out to mulch, and he threw a track off the skid steer. It was this side. He threw the track off the skid steer, and child labor and I were taking apart the old John Deere mower there, stripping it for parts so we could get it out of the yard so that this place looked a little less like Sanford and Sons, you know. So we got this back on. I would love to have pulled the camera out and filmed that, but it was so windy, and we were in a hurry to get at it. But it's not really hard to put a track back on one of these. One of these days I might do a separate video on it just as kind of a pointer deal. It's not difficult. It's actually pretty easy, all things considered. So it's fine now. Probably just, I think what Dad said he thought happened was that he got down in like a cow trail that was heading into the canyon, and he like hooked part of the track on it, and then he went to turn really hard and just popped it off. But the track's fine now. That was a little bit ago. So we've been doing all that, little things. I would really have liked to have filmed that, but like I said, the weather and the time, and yeah. So the truck here is a work in progress. I've been piecemeal working on this U90. As you can tell, we have part numbers scattered all over the place. It still needs a lot of work, but as you saw in the shop there, got the gauges out, got the dash, the vents out. It looks like this now. How does it smell? Well, it still smells, but let me tell you what, it is not nearly as bad since I pulled the vents out. That was nasty. And it's still gross in here. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to have to get a really hot day and come out here with some hot, well, not hot water, but soapy water, and basically scrub the wiring harness and stuff down. And I want it to be a really hot day because this is going to have to dry very, very well before I put batteries back in it and the alternator and all the other stuff. And we've got HVAC we have to mess with the truck. The truck is a work in progress. This is the next big thing I got to screw with because we need to get that damn storage trailer here so we can finish cleaning out the shop. And we'll come over here and show you. And I just showed this in the last video I made about stuff. But the HVAC components are still sitting here. It's still gross inside. This all needs to be cleaned. It's disgusting. But I need a day where it's hot. And usually I wouldn't ask for a hot day. But this next week is supposed to be in the 70s. We're supposed to keep getting rain. That's going to put a damper on things. We did get, a while back, I did an update video about this. We did get that corner welded in the corral. So that was a plus. The gate is done for now. It's not finished, but it's done for now. And then, of course, now that it's raining and stuff, I got more mowing to do. That's boring. Nobody wants to watch that. So right here, this is just a little taste of what came out of that vent out of the truck. It was nasty. It was nasty. This doesn't do it justice. And if you've cleaned out rat infestation out of a truck or a vehicle like really, really bad, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, and you've just vacuumed up the occasional little pile of mouse turds or whatever, it doesn't compare. It gets worse. So if you haven't experienced this, you're not missing much. I guess it builds character, but yeah, you know. So everything's greening up here. And then, of course, once it dries up enough, we got freaking dirt work to do because we're so behind on dirt work. So yeah, we're having a blast with all this stuff. It's just super fun. And then I go to start checking fence the other day, and I guess a combination of bending over in this damn truck finally caught up with me because I threw my back out. And instead of stopping, like I was cutting trees out of the fence line because I got mad and I got tired of them being there, and I had the saw with me. And so I was like, oh, I'll just cut all the trees out of this fence here, then move on. My back started to hurt, and I didn't stop, and I probably should have, because I've done this before, and I was like, it's going to rain for the next week. I need to go check the fence now, or otherwise I'll never get across the swamp, and all this other stuff. So yeah, my dumbass did that, and I'm still a little stiff, but I'm at least to the point now where I can stand up and walk around without being in a lot of pain. Feels like somebody's shoving a knife in my spine. It sucks. But that's just what we've been up to around here, and I need to pick all that up. It's just boring stuff, you know, checking the fence. Well, that's not really something I can pull the camera out for and do, because I'm trying to get around the fence. And I mean, maybe I should. I thought about it. I'm glad now that I didn't. It's usually really windy, and I could do a voiceover on the videos. I just don't want to. You know, there's always sorts of little stuff here. But because this shop is finally cleaned out where I can pull vehicles in and work on them, I've gotten a lot of little stuff done over the winter. When we get a nice day where it's 50 or 60 degrees, well, hell, I'd come out and do little projects that usually I'd be screwing with now in springtime. Getting all the junk cleaned up and reorganized over to there to where it's accessible, and having things taken care of, having a skid steer where we can go do little tasks as they come up. You know, it saves a lot of time. So now spring is kind of boring. There's always stuff to do. You know, I got tractors to service. I got a combine that needs servicing. I've got, well, that's been serviced. I put a drag link in that the other day. I was going to film it, and then I started filming it after I started the project, and then I forgot I was supposed to film it when I finished the project, so that was a write-off. And then, as you can see, we haven't made any progress on the shop. There's just a lot of stuff we're waiting to fall into place. Now, one more thing that we have to do here, because the farmhouse is struggling. I mean, it absolutely is. And we need to replace the roof. And it's in the budget now to do that, but now that, because you can't really replace the roof when it's supposed to rain every 3 days. So I've been putting this roof coating on for, not this specifically, but I've been putting this roof coating and stuff on the house for quite a while now. And it does help. But that's pretty much what the roof is at this point, is roof coating. So, you know, we're working on it, and I've got that to do, and that's not something I ever film. I do it every summer. I have to do it less and less every summer, but that's why we have 3 buckets of roof coating, and then that stuff is the brand that Dad bought last year. He wanted to try, and it works pretty good. But it all has its advantages and disadvantages. So eventually there will be a review on that, and blah, blah, blah. So, okay, the other thing... The one stupid little video I'm thinking about doing, you guys may see it after this one, you may not, I don't know. I need to make sure I've got one. Oh yeah, I do. We need to take one of these, and we need to go put it on the 800, because I started up the 800 Versatile the other day. We're not going to leave it there. And what happened was, I got it, it wouldn't start, and I thought, man, that's weird. It was kind of chilly outside, but it should have started. But it didn't. It just wanted to sit there and crank and crank and crank, and when it finally started, it sounded like crap. It sounded like a lumpy cam. It was horrible. At idle, you put it in gear and you let it on the clutch. I thought it was going to die. It sounded like crap. So I get done with it. I was dumping extra fuel into it, and when I get done with that, I go and park it, and I realize the water separator valve is leaking like pretty bad on the back fuel filter. So I was like, oh, it must be sucking in air. So we need to go put that on there, because if it's supposed to rain for the next week, we're going to want a tractor that is going to start up and run for us, because the 875 is down at the field hooked onto the plow. We were going to be all, you know, gung-ho and start plowing stuff up, and then, well, that didn't happen, so it's still down there waiting. The field still needs to be plowed there, but we've changed our plans. It's the pressure's not on us to do that. It's too wet to go plow right now, even though it might be a little fun to see if it would pull that old 8 bottom in the mud. So anyhow, yeah, that's just what we've been up to. It's pretty boring stuff, just little things here and there as usual. And I don't want to become the endless update channel. I don't want to become the filler channel, but damn it, that's all I got to do right now. I'm starting to get desperate enough that we're going to go do piddly little projects like, oh, watch me change the fuel filter in this tractor and fire it up. It's boring, and it's really short stuff that probably no one's going to watch, but it's something I can put out there, and that's what you're going to end up with, I guess. I need to do something, so I guess prepare for the content quality to get even worse, because I got to put something out or YouTube starts throwing a fit, and it would be nice to keep getting paid by YouTube. I should be getting paid this week, actually. That would be awesome. And it only took 3.5 years to get there. And all you guys watching and stuff, I really appreciate it. We need to go put this in the shop to charge. I need 2 hands for that. Just because I'm feeling better doesn't mean I want to push it and then go backwards where I can't stand up, you know. So anyhow, yeah, that's what you guys can expect. That's what's going on. I'm sorry that that's so boring, and I dragged this on for 16 minutes. So yeah, I'm going to get off of here, and I think that's pretty much everything worth mentioning. There's all sorts of other cool stuff that happened behind the scenes, but we'll go over the aftermath of that when it happens, if that makes any sense to you. So for now, yep, that's all I got for you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and we will see you in the next one. Adios.